What you're about to hear isn't entertainment. This isn't just motivation for a temporary high. This is a shift. A fundamental shift in how you think, how you move, how you speak, and ultimately, how you win. This message is a doorway. And once you walk through it, you won't come back the same. Because today, we destroy illusions. Today, we silence the old voice that's kept you small. Today, we install a new operating system, one rooted in unshakable belief. Now listen closely, because I'm about to tell you something most men never understand, not until it's far too late. Your life bends to your assumptions, not to your education, not to your bank account, not to what others think of you, but to your deepest, most persistent expectations, whether you voice them or not. Because whether you know it or not, you are constantly sending instructions to life. And life responds not to your hopes, but to your certainty. Not to your dreams, but to your decisions. Your assumptions are not passive thoughts. They are active blueprints. They determine how you interpret challenge, how you respond to fear, how you show up when nothing is working. Most people don't live in the real world. They live inside their assumptions about it. They assume it's too late. They assume people like them can't win. They assume they need permission to change. And life, obediently, confirms every one of those beliefs. But what if you changed the script? What if you decided, right now, that everything is happening for your good? That even the pain had purpose? That even the silence had design? That even the failure was protection? What if you began to assume victory before you saw any proof? This is not blind faith. This is applied mental science. This is what I practiced, what I taught, what I watched transform ordinary men into legends. Me remind you of a few of them. Henry Ford didn't wait for the world to understand his vision. He believed first. He assumed success so powerfully that others had no choice but to follow. His confidence created a gravitational pull. It pulled engineers, investors, and even skeptics into his reality. Why? Because belief is magnetic. And when you believe deeply enough, life begins to organize around that belief. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb because he hoped. He did it because he saw the result before anyone else could. He lived in the outcome before it existed. And because of that, the world adjusted to his vision, not the other way around. Andrew Carnegie, Charles Schwab, Theodore Roosevelt. These men moved as if success were inevitable, not because they had guarantees, but because they had decided. Now, let me ask you, what have you decided about yourself? Because that decision is shaping every second of your day. And if you haven't decided powerfully, life will decide for you, and you won't like the outcome. You've been fed lies for too long. Lies like, be realistic, don't expect too much, stay in your lane. But look around. Those who played it safe aren't winning. Those who waited for perfect timing are still waiting. Those who feared judgment never built anything worth remembering. And I refuse to let you be one of them. So here's the truth you've been avoiding. You've already given too much time to fear. You've already fed doubt more meals than you've fed your dreams. You've rehearsed failure in your mind more times than you've envisioned success. And that has to stop. Today, you cannot build a powerful life with a disempowered mind. You cannot expect success while feeding fear. You cannot live in purpose while serving hesitation. So I'm going to tell you what no one told me early enough. You must become unreasonable. Unreasonable in your belief. Unreasonable in your standards. Unreasonable in your faith. Because the world bends to those who bend their mind first. Now, say this out loud with me, not as a wish, but as a command to your subconscious. Everything is working in my favor. Again, everything is working in my favor. Say it with intensity. Say it like your life depends on it, because it does, Doc. This is not a mantra. It's a mental software update. It's the replacement for every belief that ever held you back, because here's what most people never grasp. The subconscious mind doesn't analyze. It accepts. It accepts whatever is repeated with emotion. If you tell it every day, I'm not ready. I always fail. I never get a break, it says, understood? I'll make sure your reality matches. But if you declare, I am powerful, I am chosen, everything aligns for me, your subconscious will go to work to prove that true. Let's go deeper. You don't need more motivation. You need a new identity. You act according to who you believe you are. If you see yourself as a victim, you'll never seize opportunity. If you believe you're a failure, success will always feel like an accident, never a birthright. But when you declare, I am the one, not by luck, not by privilege, but by decision, everything changes. You begin to walk with weight. You begin to speak with precision. You begin to command reality instead of begging it, because reality respects conviction. Let me repeat that. Reality respects conviction. Now let's talk about your future. Because it's not written. It's waiting for you to choose. And every thought you entertain, every word you speak, every action you take, they are votes for the future you will live. So stop voting for doubt. Stop campaigning for limitation. Stop marketing your excuses. You've done enough of that. It's time to become the man your future requires. Not tomorrow. No, because here's what I know. When you move with definiteness of purpose, when your decisions match your desires, when your voice aligns with your vision, life has no choice but to respond. Now, let me ask you, what would happen if for the next 30 days you removed every word of weakness from your mouth? No more. I don't know how. It's too hard. Maybe one day. Replace it with, I will figure it out. I was built for this. It's already done. Your vocabulary is the software of your destiny. Upgrade it. Now imagine this. Every morning you wake up and say, I walk in purpose. I attract alignment. I live as if it's already done. How different would your month look? How different would your year look? How different would you look? You wouldn't. Recognize yourself, and that's the goal. Because the version of you that got you here, he can't take you there. He's tired. He's outdated. He's running on fear, approval, and anxiety. It's time to retire him. And it's time to install the version of you who's been whispering in your dreams. The bold one, the focused one, the one who doesn't apologize for his calling. Let that man take the lead. And watch. Watch as life moves differently. Watch as doors you never imagined begin to open. Watch as resistance fades, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. That's the reward of belief. That's the fruit of decision. That's the proof of faith. Let me say this as clearly as I can. You do not need a miracle. You need alignment. And alignment comes from action, from repetition, from walking every day as if what you've asked for. has already been given, that's not delusion. That's the birthplace of creation, because everything you want is already seeking you. It just doesn't recognize the version of you who doubts. It's waiting to meet the version of you who knows so become him. Not next week, not after the fear fades. Now, and let this be your anchor. Everything is working in my favor, even when it's quiet, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't feel like it, because often the greatest breakthroughs come disguised as silence, as setbacks, as waiting, but they're not punishment. They're preparation. So stay in motion, stay in faith, stay in alignment, and you will find that you never had to chase the life you wanted. You only had to become the man who could hold it. If this message woke something up inside you, honor it. This is not just a video. This is a turning point. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell. Every day, we share real truths, not hype, to help you rewire your mind, activate your calling, and build a life that honors your potential. Because this world doesn't need more noise. It needs men who've decided, men who walk in certainty, men who command reality. Be one of them. And it all begins now.